Oh, okay, so we're recording now. Okay, so what I've done now, we've been on for like, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah. And I have a weight vest on. This is a loading Friday. Okay. Some of you that are coming on, if somebody stumbled onto my YouTube channel, maybe not understand what loading is. It's not that kind of loading. It's this kind of loading. See, I have a weight vest. This is about 35 pounds or so on me right now. But if you don't have a weight vest and you're walking to warm up, grab a bag of beans. This is 4 pounds. Hang on to it. Okay? Or put 2 weights in your hands, or put the weights on your shoulders. Walk front, walk back. Then I morphed into a tirade on walking patterns. Since we're using walking as a warm-up, because in fact this is a weighted walk, I was pointing out the fact that many people wobble. You wobble when you're walking. So what I'm trying to get you to do is to soften your knee joint, soften just a little bit, say rib cage up, and use a pole. If you are a person that has been told, why are you walking funny? Why are you wobbling like that? A lot of times we don't realize that we get into these, I call it, it's just sloppy habits of walking because it's easier and because there's a pain quotient here. But the problem is you start wearing your joints in a weird way. So see, if I'm a wobbler, I'm going to get me a walking pole. This one is just a plain old broom handle that I took the broom off. Okay? Very easy. I bet you have poles laying all over your house. Anyway, you can have a fancy walking pole, trekking pole they call them. But then notice how you're walking. So see, as I'm taking each step right now, back and forth, and I haven't done side to side yet. We're just finishing our warm up, y'all. People are coming on. And this one will be recorded so that I'm just prepping to let you know what I'm doing. Now I'm going to go side to side. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to on purpose step forward and sideways. Then I'm going to step forward and sideways, kind of like you're skating. Forward and sideways, forward and sideways. Then when I get to the top of my room, in fact, I'm going to plant my toe, then put my heel down and come back in a backward trajectory. Now, when you go backwards, many times we get a little panicky because in fact, many of us have fallen walking backwards. So look behind. You see how I did that? I didn't just hang my head out. I didn't just go like this. I turned, glanced down with my eyes without hanging my head out. And now I know there's nothing behind me. So then I'm going to go back. I'm going to put my midfoot down, and then I'm going to plant my heel. When you're carrying an extra 30, at least 30, maybe more pounds hanging off your shoulders like I have right now, this walk becomes significant. So here I go now. I'm going to come up by doing that little sashay, across, 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 and across. I'm going to glance, and then I'm going to go back, 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 back. Take a big breath. Now I'm going to start with this lead leg. I was starting with this lead leg. Now I'm going to switch. So I'm going to go side and up, side and up, side and up, side and up. And you tap step, side and up. Now I'm going to come to the middle, I'm going to turn the other way. I'm going to glance with my eyes. I'm not going to hang my head out and do all this to look. That's one of those habit patterns that we get into. And then pretty soon, this is how we're looking. We're looking like this everywhere we go. And there's a lot of strain on the neck and a lot of strain on the back when you do that. So what I'm telling you to do is a transverse move. Stay upright. Do a transverse move, meaning turning your whole body. Glance with your eyes. Everything's good. It's a different way to turn and look. Okay, we're going to do one more of these. Here we go. Side and up, tap, side and up, tap, side and up, tap, side and up, tap, side and up, tap. And then I'm going to go back, 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 and back. Yay. Okay. Take a big breath. I got my pole. All right. I'm going to bring it up to the top of my head. See that? So it's right on top of my head. Now here's the deal. When you go up with your hands like this, many of you have turned your wrists and you don't realize it. I want you to neutralize that wrist. Don't turn it like this. Make it straight on. That's going to require you to move your shoulder and your elbow. Okay? So once you've done that, now don't go behind the neck. That's a little too big. Come right down, just like that. Now take it down. Okay, now you're going to lay this rod or pole across your toes. So now I want you to hip hinge. Soften your knees. Drop your shoulders. You're going to come down. Here's the knee. Come down. Lay that right across your toes. Right across your toes, just like that. Take a big deep breath. Grab it again. Push into the heels and come back up. Okay? When you do that move and you have a weight vest on like I have, and some of you may have it in your hands. Some of you may have your weights in your hands. Or some of you may be doing this with no weights. Perfectly fine. This move, though, this is a classic, very functional move. And a lot of times we screw it up. So just in bending, if you're thinking about it and putting your hands down to your feet, then you push into the heels. Then you come up, you squeeze your butt, you bring that arm up, you bring it up, put it on the top of your head again. Now take a look at your wrist. Don't be turning your wrist, okay? And that's going to be hard for some of you, and I know it. But I'm going to harangue you to make sure you're doing a good form. Bring it back down. Bring it to your knees. Do a hip hinge. Come all the way down. Lay that pole across your toes. Take a big deep breath. Tuck your chin. Grab your pole. Push into the heels. Come up and squeeze your butt. Yes. Okay. Now I'm going to step wide. Just like that. Then I'm going to come back. Okay. Here. I'm doing this carefully because I, in fact, have 30 extra pounds, maybe 35, on this weight vest, okay? You have whatever weight you're carrying, and when you go into this kind of a move, see, I stepped wide, just like that, see that? And then I want to come back, all right? And then I'm going to step again, and then I'm going to come back. But we're going to start to not shift. We're going to start to put the weight right here. Like take your pole and act like you're putting it right down through your toe. So now you don't weight shift, okay? Now you take that leg out and you take all this load goes down your spine, in your hip, in your knee, down into your feet, okay? So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me. See that? And if I need to, I'll use my toe down or I'll hold it. However, the idea though is stay in your support leg. Okay, this is your pillar. This one is your swinger. See that? See that? So look at me. When you do a tap, you need to do a hip hinge. Okay? So for me, as I do this little move, this is my knee replacement side. This is my hip replacement side. I have 30 plus pounds on my weight vest. Okay? This starts becoming significant, especially for my joints. And what I try to make a point of is we're doing in this class weight loading, but sparing the joints. If you have locked your knee, and if you're constantly doing this, see, if I see you doing this, then I know you're not staying in your solid leg. You're moving, you're shifting. I don't want you shifting. I want you to go like this. You drop down, you don't shift. See, tight tummy, rib cage up, hip hinge, but your head should not be going side to side in this move, okay? If you have 30 pounds on you or any weight whatsoever, wow, that's a big deal. This is very significant. This little step out, but it's with a hip hinge. And so instead of shifting from side to side, I'm pushing my butt back and I am loading my quads, I'm loading my gluteals, I'm loading my back extensors, but I'm taking the care of my joints. That's the point. See this? Boom. See, push that butt back, go down and up. So the down and up trajectory of your head is what I'm looking for as a trainer. I am trying to do a totally different move than this. See, this is a totally different move than what I'm doing right now. Okay, so tighten in, ribcage up, push your chin in. Here I go. Load, push your butt back, tap. So you see, my head went down. It did not wobble, okay? And come back in. Now, I can tell you, with this kind of weight now, I'm feeling load quite a bit after doing those many repetitions. So now we're going to do the other leg. So let me do a little recap here. When we were doing our warm-up, when we're doing our warm-up, I pointed out what many of us are starting to do with all of our challenges of our joints, our different injuries. We start walking like this. This is how you look walking sometimes. So what I'm telling you is everything I'm doing today is to try to help you with your functioning muscles so that you don't do this funny kind of a walk. This is what I call the wobble walk, okay? And many of us do it. I do it if I don't think about it. Take a breath. Now I'm going to switch. Now I'm going to go to this other leg, okay? Now the minute I start doing this, this is a move. I shifted, but it's not the move we're going to do right now, okay? I want, and the way I started this before on the other leg is I said, put your pole on your toe, okay? As if you were nailing the toe down. Now, hip hinge and step out and come back in, okay? That is a very different move. This is a very different move than this. See, I don't want this right now. This is where you shift and then you share the load, okay? I want to load appreciably this side, and this is my swing leg. So here's the deal. When you do this, you have to be hip back, tighten your tummy. So you're doing a hip hinge, okay? And you're loading right here. See that? So it's down and up. So in effect, this is kind of a one-legged squat. It's a high squat, but you stay loaded on this side, okay? So what you're gonna see in movement patterns with me, and this is what I wanna see with you, is when you move this leg out, your head does not move out. Your head goes down because in effect, you're doing a one-legged squat. Now, so look at your foot. Make sure you're on all four corners of your foot. Do your hip hinge. Drop your shoulders. Use a pole if you need to hold your weight into the support leg. See how I swing that leg out and in? So I'm pushing the hip out and come back. Now, if you have no weight that you're holding on to anywhere, and you do this move, it's a high single leg squat is what it is. It's just a little hip hinge squat. It's not a full squat. But you see my head? My head is not doing this, okay? I'm lowering my center of gravity. This is very important in the functioning of not only your gluteals, your back, your legs, the weight load that your foot has, your posture, but all your joints. As you're doing this high single leg, push your butt back, lower your center of gravity right here. I have all kinds of bells and whistles going off. Keep going, keep going, keep going. I don't know. I do not know. Okay. Okay, so here's the deal. You could do this when you're waiting in line sometime. See, if you know what you're doing, see, you're going to do that butt push back, and you're going to lower your center of gravity. You are not going to shift and wobble. That's what I'm trying to get you not to do, is the wobble that many of us start to walk funny. And it's for lots of different reasons. But if you think about it and you know how to line it back up, then you can avoid getting into walking like a wobble walk, okay? So I've got 3 more here. Take a breath. Keep your tummy in, your shoulders down. I'm using my pole here so that I don't wobble because I'm going to push my hip back and bend my knee. So you see my head lowering and coming up. I'm not wobbling. And I come up. And last one. And I come up. Yay. Big deep breath. Here's my pole. I'm going to do a turn. So I'm going to step wide. I'm going to pull my tummy in, number 1. I'm going to soften my knees, number 2. Drop my shoulders. Now I'm ready to turn. And I'm ready to turn. Now, when some of you do this, whenever I look, I see your head going way out here, out of the column. What's the column? The column is the straight line created by your spine, through your shoulders and your hips. So even if I'm stepping wide, I turn, staying in the column, okay? There are some moves that will take us out of the column. But many of us do that excessive wobble. So I think when I post this one, I'm going to say, avoid the wobble walking. Weight training to help avoid wobble walking. Because there's many of us that have realized our walking gaits have changed. You have all kinds of, just during life, you have injuries, you have things that don't work right. But here's the thing. Just keep aspiring to a good, smooth, gentle, normal walking pattern without wobble walking. See this? I can have my pole right here, and I can walk, and it will even tell me, just holding your pole right here will tell you if in fact you're doing some wobble walking. If you don't think about it, you start doing this. See? That's not what we want. We want to go front and back, because in fact, we're going to pick up some weights here in just a second in a carrying type fashion. And so I'm going to add my weight load beyond this weight vest. So here's the deal. When you get into a bad habit of wobble walking, if you just paid attention to how do you feel pressure in your feet, see, that would tell you a lot if you just noticed it. Now, here's the deal. Many of us have little neuropathies. We don't really feel in our feet, in the nerves in our feet. And there's lots of reasons for that. Injury, I have kind of a numbness in my toe from getting a toe, my foot operated on. Diabetes. Diabetes is one of the first things for neuropathy in the feet. So you could use that as a warning by just paying attention and saying, oh, geez, when Jeannie did that exercise today, I was trying to think, do I feel my feet? Maybe you don't. Maybe you should have that checked out. But do you see how I'm walking? My knees are soft. I'm going front to back. I'm keeping my shoulders down. I'm keeping my knees just a little soft. And I'm trying not to wobble. That's the point. I am trying to walk very smoothly because, in fact, we're going to pick up weight now. So I have about 30 plus pounds hanging off my shoulders in a weight vest. And there's lots of different kinds of weight vests out there. Okay? Anybody want to, I don't sell them. I don't get any. It's just, you could load a backpack if you had a properly fitting backpack. There is some real value in hiking with backpacks that fit you properly. Okay, I have just added 18 pounds, in fact, to my hands. 9 pounds and 9 pounds. And I'm continuing this very controlled, trying not to wobble, walk. Okay? And it is going to take you being on purpose, dropping your shoulders, saying rib cage up. When you put your foot out, your knee needs to be a little soft. And then push off that toe. Okay? And try not to do the wobble. Okay, so I'm walking around now with about 50 pounds loaded right down my frame. There is great value in doing this a couple times a week. You can add bone density. Yeah, even us. Not like we could when we were in our 20s, because your bank pretty much closes between something like 25 and 30, right around 25 actually. for bone density. But you can manage it better, is the point. Your osteoclasts and osteoblasts, which is what your bones are made out of, retool. They retool every week, every day, every month. And they retool depending on the load you put on them. Yeah, actually, that's the whole point behind use it or lose it. It's actually true. Because you don't want your bones going to shock. So I'm being very careful as I do this walk. I'm trying my darndest not to wobble. And I tend to go into one leg more than the other because I get into bad habits just like everybody else. So that's why I'm hammering this really hard today. And those of you who have noticed that, in fact, you are a wobble walker, it's hard to break out of that. Woo, it's hard. Okay, take a big breath. Now I'm going to bring the weights right in here. And I'm going to bring the weights right here. And I'm going to put them right down my shoulders. See that? So when you put your weights on your shoulder like this, and this could be a 4-pound bag of beans. So if I have people joining me and they don't have any weights and they think, oh, you have to have equipment for that class. No, you don't. You have to have a shopping bag full of stuff that's loaded. I'm sure you can find stuff, you know, or just put it on your shoulders just like this, okay? A 4-pound bag of beans. Your weights, if you have a weight and you can put one on one side and one on the other, that's what I want you to do. Okay, take a big breath. Bring your elbows in here. Just hang on to them like that. Now, do you remember that move we did a couple of moves ago? I'll turn to the side so you'll see. Keep your elbows down. Secure your weights right here. You're going to do a tiny little hip hinge. You're going to go into your heels right there. And then you're going to come back up and you're squeeze your butt right now with that weight coming right down your shoulders. Yeah, so here we go. Push the butt back. Drop your chin. Just tuck your chin in. I don't mean turn your head. I mean drop your chin in. Okay, so hang on to the weights right there on your shoulders. Now push the butt back. And see, we just do little tiny mini squats. Then you come up and you squeeze your butt. Then you release and you go into your heels and you come back up. Take a breath. So breath, heels, and come back up. Okay? Make sure you're breathing, heels, and then come back up. Take a breath. Push into the heels. Come back. Breath. Here we go. Heels, come back, and breath. Now I'm going to change the trajectory of your feet. We're going to turn the toes out. Yeah. See, we're doing little tiny mini pushback. Okay? So what's the value in this? Well, if you're a dancer, this is where your feet go normally because you've done so many things in this position that that's the way your feet and hips are going. Anyway, the big reason is because it affects your pelvic floor muscle grouping. So you must be breathing as you do this little mini squat. See, this is not even going to do anything to hurt my hip, to hurt my knee. My toes are just turned out a bit. And I'm breathing in, exhaling, breathing in, and then exhaling. And breathing in, and then exhaling. Hang on to those weights right on your shoulders. Because see, when you even go into this much of a lean out, right now, this right here, this little move right here. Wow, is that loading your spine, your back extensor muscles? This is what's starting to add that bone density. This is why Marilyn had that good doctor's check. And she was shown that she gained muscle. I mean, she may gain muscle, but she gained bone density. Okay, I've got 2 more with my toes in this position. So see, It's not super hard, but believe me, depending on the weight that you chose, you are loading really well. Okay, the toes go forward. See that? Now turn them in slightly. Okay, just slightly. You got it? Now take a breath. Drop your shoulders. Drop your chin. Say rib cage up. Now push your butt back. Breath and exhale. Breath as you go down. Exhale as you come up. Keep your toes in. Breath and exhale. So this little move, especially when you add breathing, because when you add breathing, by virtue of breathing purposely, you are innervating deep pelvic floor muscles that are controlling your breathing, and they are attached to the pelvic floor muscles. Breath. Here we go. Push. Breath. Keep your knees soft. Rib cage up. Breath. And I'm doing this with 9 pounds on one shoulder, 9 pounds on the other. And I have a weight vest that is 30 plus pounds hanging off my shoulder right now. Okay. So I got 3 more to do. Breathe. Breath. Here we go. Breath. One more. And breath. Now carefully grab those weights. Nice. Take a big breath. I got about 5 more minutes and I'm going to take my weight vest off so that I can get going with a little heavier weight on my arms. Okay, last one that I'm going to do with my weight vest. So, see, I'm going to do a mini squat. So whether you have weights on you or not, do a little mini squat. See that? Bring these weights right out here. So I'm doing this with about a medium weight. And I'm going to go 1 tap, 2 tap. So see, push your butt back. Boom. Boom. Breath. Breath. Pull. Make sure you're not swinging your weights. It's a definite pull. Keep your elbows down. Big breath. Go. Go. Breath. Oh. Breath. Go. Every time you go down, push your butt back. Drop your shoulders. Say rib cage up. Boom. So I'm not using a super heavy weight, but I'm doing repeated curling. It's a hammer curl. Okay? This has to do with my grip. Has to do with my forearm. Has to do with my biceps, triceps. So don't swing. We're going to do a high repetition here, so stay with me. Breath. I'm here doing this with you, y'all. So, you know, just understand, I'm not just counting it for you. Do it with me. Breath. Hang on, we just got about 5 or 6 more. Breath. Push the butt back, squeeze. Butt back, squeeze. Keep your elbows down. Breath, almost there. Breath. Breath. Breath and breath. Nice. Okay, I'm going to put these weights down. Take a breath. Yeah. I'm going to take my little weight vest off. See? It just velcros off. Bring it up over the head. And I put it down to let it dry out. As Chrissy would say, those backpacks are heavy. Are sweaty. Yes, they are. Okay. Now I'm going to go up in weight. So now I'm going to pick up more of a heavy configuration of weight. Now I've already done a preloading move with you with your arms, right? So now I have 12 pounds, 12 pounds, okay? So I'm going to go into my little my little position, which is going to be a butt back, high hip hinge. I'm going to come right here, okay? This time, instead of it being a hammer curl to the shoulder like that, now I'm going to go biceps. And then I'm going to go right into the triceps, okay? So I'm going to turn, and I'm going to go pull. Breath. Don't do this fast. Bring your hands right above the knee, right there. And then go pull. Breath. Pull. Breath. So I'm staying in a hip hinge, and I'm staying in a leaning from my hip. Pull. Breath. Pull. Breath. Keep your shoulders down. Stay with me. Breath. Don't jerk them. You want to be a solid pull with your palms up. Breath. Breath. Go. Breath. Go. Breath. Just 3 more. Stay with me. 2 more. Here we go. 1 more. There. Now we're going to straight into the triceps. So I got you into a lean out, correct? Step a little wider. Hip hinge. Now the weights go right at the sides of your hips. And then if I were with just you, I would pull your elbows in, okay? Because some of you are flaring your elbow. Don't flare your elbow. Pull them in, hip hinge, and now all you do is you make your elbow straight. You do not lift from your shoulder. Your shoulders, your stability, okay? They stay down, locked down. And then you go boom. Breath, push out. Breath, push out. Breath, push those hands back. Okay, just open the elbow. You don't lift. My elbows are right at my waist. Breath, push, go. Push, go. Push, push, breath, push, breath, go, go. Push back, stay down, keep your shoulders down. I just got about 5 more. Push back, so you don't come forward with your hands. They stay right at the sides of your legs. Push back. Here we go. Push back, just 2 more, just 2 more. 1 more. Boom. All right. Now I'm going to use my little chair. I still have my 12-pounders. I'm going to come down and I'm going to sit right here. I'll get in front of my curtain so you can see what I'm doing. Okie dokie. So here I am on my little chair, okay? Now, one of the things that happens when you get into wobble walking, okay, is you swing your hands kind of funny, and it makes your body do even more of a weird lean. So what I'm telling you to do here on this one is to drop your shoulders, okay? I'm sitting at the end of my chair. I'm putting my hands right at my hips, okay? And I'm going to open back just a little bit, but here's the biggest thing on this. Your shoulders are down. Yeah, your shoulders are down. So they're really pressing down. Okay, I got my heels down. See that? And all I'm going to do is I'm going to act like I'm going to go off the front of my chair, and then I'm going to push myself back up, okay? Now, I'm setting this whole thing up for people who are what I call fun-sized, okay? That means you're just a little short, Okay? So you think that you can't do this because your arms are not long and it's just hard and all that. No. You still, it doesn't matter what size you are, if you had to manage your upper body in an injury, let's say, or an illness or whatever, and you were confined to crutches or a bed or whatever, you still got to help those that are caring for you with all of your daily needs. Yeah, that includes a bedpan. So here's the thing. The very first thing that anybody's going to do, a good hospital situation, for somebody that's going to get an operation, is they're going to start doing upper body strengthening. This is one. Your hands are here. Your shoulders are down. Ease your butt off and then come back up. Now, if you're out there and you're advanced and you're good to go, you get cranking. But some of you have had shoulder injuries. You are weaker in your shoulders than you need to be. There's no way you can handle your body weight. That's my goal. I want you to be independent. And in order to do that, you have to be strong enough to manage your weight. Okay? So see how I'm doing some repeats? So if you're out there and you're advanced, keep cranking them until these are screaming at you. If you need to take breaks, take breaks. But look at my shoulders. This is not hurting my shoulders. This is helping my shoulders if I can keep you in a good position. So keep your shoulders down and just go down just 1 or 2 inches. See, it's a bend of the elbow. It's not lifting your hip or anything. Some people will just keep their elbows at a certain position and they do their hip lift. No, that's not what we're doing. The whole movement here is through your elbow because your shoulders are down. So you're just doing body weight loading. Breath, breath, press, press. Couple more. Yes, and come back. Now, once you come back and these are zinging, then you just bring forward and just let them pendulum. And it feels so good to do that pendulum move right there. Woo! Breath, breath, breath. Go. Breath, breath. Yeah. Take a big breath. Hang on. And then come back. Now, before we do anything else, you're sitting here on the chair, okay? We're going to do a little recovery here. So the thumbs are up. See that? I'm going to put the hand behind my head with my thumb headed down. And then don't lean your head. Push your head back, chin down against your hand. And it should be opening you right here. Okay? Take your opposite leg. Once you have this, take your opposite leg and just do a lift, push. A lift, push. Keeping your elbow out. So it's just going to be a lift, push, lift, push. Keep this open. Lift, push, lift, push, lift, push. 2 more. Lift, push, lift, and push. Yay. Okay? You liked it, didn't you? I can tell that you love that one. Well, we're going to do it on the other side, so not to worry. I'll turn here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay? So see, I'm like this. So rib cage is up. Chin is tucked. I'm going to open at the hip hinge just a little, not a lot, just a little. I'm going to take the other hand, put it behind my head. See? Put it right here behind my head. The elbow should be open. Okay, the thumb is headed down. All right? Now, don't let your head go forward. Push against your hand and open that elbow back. That's when you're going to feel a great opening right here. Okay? Once you have that set, keep your chin down, ribcage up. Okay? Open at the hip. Bring your leg up, opposite the hand that's up. And then just go push. See? Bring it up. Push. Bring it up. Push. Bring it up. Push. Bring it up. Push. Up. Keep that elbow open. Keep the elbow way open. Take a breath. Push. Bring it up. Push. Bring it up. One more. Push. And release. Yay. Lean in and go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and yay. Okay. For people with shoulder issues, you don't just have a joint issue. Some of you have neck issues that lead to shoulder issues and you don't even realize it. You cannot put weight on a muscle or a joint that's giving you issues. So you do the movement with no weight. So I hope you're hearing me, you shoulder people. You're the worst of the slugs because you do things that you think you can and you shouldn't do, okay? Yes, you know who I'm talking to here, right? Elisa? Anyway, okay, here we go. I'm going to lean in. See, I have pretty heavy weights sitting at the base of my chair here because we just used them a while ago, right? So I'm going to use my little, my medium heavy weights. So what I have here is a 12 and a 12. Okie dokie. I'm going to lean in. I'm going to have both hands are going to have weight in it. But I'm going to bring one up at a time. Okay? So I'm going to keep my chin tucked. I'm going to bring that weight up. And I'm going to do a little tiny bit of a turn. See that? So I'm going to keep my chin tucked, pull, and my elbow comes up and almost over my back. Okay? What I'm trying to get you not to do is to go out like this. This, with this much weight, can give you a problem. I want you to bring those elbows almost so that they curl over your back. See that? That way I really get this whole side going. And I don't hurt my joint. So this is where you use a little more weight than what you think, you can. And then you check in with yourself. And you make sure that you can do the full range of motion with no weight first. Then you pick up a little weight. Then you bring that elbow over that back. Breath, pull. Breath. Now, if I were with you right now, it's just me and you, I'd be standing over you. And I would be seeing that you are not rounding right here. Because many times when you lean in, the first thing you do is you round your back. Do not do that. Even if you can't go down very far, even if you can only go this far, do not round your back. Say rib cage up, shoulders down, chin tuck, pull, pull, breath, go. Go, pull, pull, keep shoulders down, breath, shoulders down, chin is tucked, Don't hang your head here. Breath. Ooh. Pull. Go. Pull. 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 Just a couple more. Go. 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 2 more. This is it. Okay. Bring them right here at your feet. Whew. Take a big deep breath. Yes. Put your butt to the end of the chair. Okay. Open back. Bring your leg like it's going to cross. See, my ankle is right here at my knee. If that's hard for you to do, just bring your ankle over some portion of your other leg. Okay? Say rib cage up. Drop my shoulders. Open. So wherever I put my ankle, that's where you're going to go from. Okay? Then you rest your hand on the knee. And it should be eliciting a pretty big stretch. Say rib cage up. You'll never get this stretch if you don't keep your rib cage up. Okie dokie. Take a big breath. Put your hand right here. Push. Breath. 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 Then bring it back in and bring it back in. Take a big deep breath. Okay, open. We're going to go to the other one. Put your ankle on your knee. Okay? Put your hand right here. Press, just let it be. Don't push it. All I want you to do is say rib cage up. If you'll do that, you'll get a stretch right through this outside part of your hip. Take a big deep breath. Yeah. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Just hang out there for a couple seconds. Big deep breath, then bring it back down. Okay. We have pretty big weights here, okay? A medium heavy. For me, it's a medium heavy. It's 12 and 12. Doable, all right? So we're focusing on a lot of different issues that get used incorrectly, when in fact you get into funny walking patterns. So when I post this one, it's going to be weighted workout Friday, how to avoid the wobble walking, okay? So everything here is countering that, all right? So I'm going to grab my weights. I'm going to bring it right here. I'm going to open. See that? I'm going to bring it right here to my ears, right there, and bring it back down. So here's the deal. Don't bring those elbows anywhere else. When you come up, don't let them come in. Because when you let your elbows come in, that tells me you're rounding your back. Okay? And we're trying to counter some of the different structures, which include your shoulders, that get weirded out when you start wobble walking. Breath. Here we go. See, I'm just going to go just to my ears with this medium heavy weight. That's it. Take a breath. See, I'm leaned out from my hips here. See that? Because I want to innervate my core right now. My rib cage is up. Shoulders are down. Back. Take a big breath. Here we go. Bring it back down. So you don't have to go way up over your head in order to get stronger in your shoulders. But you got to watch your form. Breath. I got about 3 more in me. Are you ready? Back. 2 more. Back. 1 more. Back. Bring them down. Shake them out. Shake them out. Shake them out. Shake them out. Yay! Okay. We're going to do a third set of curling. Okay? And some other different things with our upper body. All right? So here's what I want you to think about. I have you sitting on a chair. to do these. When you're walking or standing, see, your feet and your hips are free to go wherever. But when I'm sitting, you got to stay right here, okay? So when you're wobble walking, I want you to think about the kind of weight we're fixing to pick up, okay? It would be very difficult to go into that weirdo, sloppy little wobble walking experience if, in fact, you had the amount of weight that I'm fixing to pick up here, okay? So I got a 12 and a 12. You've got whatever you're picking, you're choosing, okay? So here I go. I'm going to pick them up. We're right here, okay? And I'm giving you plenty of breaks in between gripping these weights, all right? Because, in fact, you do need to give, especially if you have arthritis in your hands, you don't not lift weights, just give more breaks, okay? Let your recovery happen. Use a weight glove. That will help a lot. Okay, so I'm going to bring this up here. I'm going to bring this up here, just like this. See that? And I'm going to open. Now try to wobble walk. It's a whole different ball game. It will stop you in your tracks. When you're this kind of weight and you go into that funny little wobble walk, you won't be able to do it. That's my point. When you really understand that your body was designed to function in certain mechanical, postural positions, and it functions best that way, then we start straightening it out. Okay, I got one more of these. See, this is an in and an out. Then I'm going to bring it down. Oh, shake out, shake out, shake out, shake out. Yeah. Take a big deep breath. Now, I've got one more to do, and it's going to involve this. Now, before we were down like this, and I had you just straighten against the weight, but we're going to be in an upright position now, okay? So I'm going to get that same weight, 12 and 12, okay? And just remember, when you put them in your hands and you go outside of the column, that puts a strain, okay? So here we go. I'm going to come up. See this? I'm going to lean in a little, not much. I'm going to bring these weights right to my chair. See that? And I'm upright. So my rib cage is up, and I'm just going to push back. I'm going to do tiny little flicks. I call these terminal flicks. It's right at where you can't go anymore. And it's just a kind of a threading. See, it's a push. See, it's a push. It's right up the back of the arm. But your shoulders are the ones that are stability for all this particular motion. Shoulders down, keep your chin tucked, keep your rib cage up, and it's just a little pedaling. See? Push, 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 breath, push, breath, push, breath, push, and breath. Put your weights right there. Now, here's the test. We're right at the end of the program. And you know I'm going to title this one, How to Avoid Wobble Walking. So one of the biggest ways is, of course, get some weight in your hands. Okay, so here I go. I'm going to walk and keep my knees soft. Keep my knees soft. And I'm looking for the head to stay pretty constant. As you're taking a step, try to avoid that weird little wobble that we've gotten into, okay? Drop your shoulders, keep your chin tucked. Here I go, heel toe. My knee is soft. See, my knee is soft, And I'm trying not to wobble the head back and forth. Okay, and you have to slow down. You can't take quick steps because I'm trying to get you to load your leg properly. The reason you wobble is to avoid a joint pain or, you know, a muscle imbalance. And you think that it's all good. It's not. So I'm trying to just really highlight the mechanics, how we get in them and how we can get out of them. But it's not easy because I can tell you the way I wobble is because of my hip replacement. Because your whole leg is weaker, okay? And you tend to want to just use the muscles that are the strongest. But see, then all those other muscles get weaker. So by bending my knee and by bringing my whole center of gravity lower, I can avoid the wobble and I can really fully use those weaker muscles in the leg. That just happens to us, okay? So that is some of the main things, not all of them, of how to avoid wobble walking. So, you didn't